And you're welcome. It's the final segment for a Monday. I'm always excited about this segment here because it's time for SME. Now, we have founder of Bonzee Consulting and the CEO, by the way, Oluwakemi Olasoji, joining us today for a conversation. Now, Bonzee Consulting is an HR consulting company that offers such services as employee engagement, human resources for a live musical performance, or rather human resources and plenty more. Now, we have with us here Oluwakemi. You are welcome. Good to have you here.
Thank you. Good morning.
I found the first of logo for Bonzee very simple. It's you know, it gives you that welcoming type feeling about the brand. But I was more interested in what the meaning for Bonzee was as an HR firm. What is it exactly?
Okay, so realistically, the name sort of connects to me. While we were growing up, there was this concept about, you know, bleaching your skin and trying to look different.
Oh, okay.
And obviously, I look very dark, yeah? So the first business ever I thought of, you know, doing or venturing into was to do something different for, you know, women of color.
Okay.
You know, so for starters, I went to learn makeup, artistry, cosmetology, and all of that, just to prep myself up.
Yeah.
So it was important that, you know, I have a name, a brand name. So at the time, the only thing that came to mind was to have something that had to do with, you know, glow, something shining, something, you know, like a highlight.
Yeah.
But I wasn't sure what it was, so I brought bronze.
Oh,
right.
Now I get it.
So that was it. But bronze wouldn't really sell the brand because I also knew that I was going to do something different.
Other things,
that was related to people.
Okay.
So I needed to do something. So I have this friend that I called Magbola Olomola, and I said, you know what, I need your help. What can we do together about the name? So he said, what's your nickname? My nickname at the time, people call me Ebony. Same because I'm dark skinned. But just because I wanted to be different from Ebony Casket, so I said, I don't want Y with my Ebony. So my Ebony was Ebony with E-E, yeah, double E. So I brought the numbers together, I mean the letters together, and I formed Bonzee from bronze and ebony.
Nice. Beautiful. So that's that story about that, just in case you were wondering yourself. Thank me later. So let's talk about Bonzee HR Consulting now. You guys have been on for how long, and why did you feel the need to actually start this?
Okay, so officially, we just launched on the 30th of November, but unofficially, we've been here and there since 2020.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
yes. But what actually, you know, about the need for, you know, Bonzee Consulting is just born out of my experience in the workforce. Nowadays, from the generation of, you know, people that we have had in the workforce, it's been very hard for most of the, you know, CEOs or management to communicate the expectations to their team, especially in the age of the Gen Zs. It's really, really not an easy task. And so there are also some kind of CEOs who just emerge as CEOs, perhaps because they got money from family members or they just had a vision. But most of them, in most cases, have not learned from, you know, the ropes. They have not worked anywhere before. They have no idea to manage people, which is actually the basis of running any business, because one of my philosophies is that you cannot achieve anything without a talented workforce. You can't do anything alone, really.
So
we need people.
Bonzee Consulting helps to manage all of these.
Exactly. So I kept looking at the things happening in the workforce. I told myself that I needed to do something different. It's not just about sitting here and, you know, lamenting and complaining. What can I do differently? So I thought of, you know, going back to school, from sciences across to social sciences, onto the PhD level to learn about human resource management.
Nice. And
after that level, I said, what can I do different? Let me set up something that actually caters to the need of people. Now, when you think HR consulting, what comes to your mind is, oh, they're recruiting. No.
Pretty much.
We don't recruit, you know, just generally. What we do is different. We actually acquire talent, emphasis on talent. Now, we thought about doing something for people, so to manage both employers of labor and the employees, their expectations. So we came up with a segment called employee engagement. So that's like the core of our services. So we help business owners, you know, management teams to manage the people, you know, communicate properly, carry the team along so that they can work well. And of course, the employees, you need to understand what your employer needs from you, and you need to know how to deliver. So that way, there's some sort of synergy that makes the business grow. So employees are growing on the job, the business too is growing, and then customer satisfaction is the peak.
So in your experience, how, what's the word now? Businesses might not be aware that they actually need this service, and how much of that have you come across, and how does it impact the business at the end of the day?
Yeah, so realistically, a lot of, I don't know whether it's It's a Nigerian or African thing, which is not really too good, and we're trying to change the narrative. People just assume, okay, I've hired you. That's pretty much what I can do for you. People don't care about well-being of their staff. People don't think people have mental, challenges, or they're having emotional problems. So you don't connect directly to your team. And I have experienced that at different periods that I've worked at. Sometimes I've been sick and then, nobody checks up on you. So this is a fundamental truth that we need to address. And that's what we are now trying to focus on and trying to, maybe reinvigorate, the teams. Because at the end of the day, when these guys work with you out of loyalty, you will see that people will stay with you on the job for a longer period. Nowadays, it's just 6 months and 1 year worse.
Yeah, I know. So let's talk about HR consulting now and how it profits you. Do people actually embrace your services, and how much have they embraced it over the past, since 2002, since before?
Yes, first thing, they have embraced it because some people still somehow think, they know that it's a need, a necessity. However, I think that I have sold the business as a brand, So most of the time, we've done more of learning and development. We've done more of trainings.
Useful.
So I think that a lot of people are understanding that part of the business. So they just know that they need to, embrace that part, help their team to get better at what they do. So even recently, the Akwa Ibom State government actually hired us to, come and train their teachers on how to be 21st century teachers. So a lot of people, even in the government sector, public sector, they're also embracing it. But we just want to do more than, that part of the business. That's just learning and development. It's just one aspect of, HR consulting.
So you keep saying us and we. Let's ask how big your staff is at Bonzee and how long it took you to put together that.
Okay, so currently I think we have off-site and on-site. Why I say that is because, we can't, I tell people, I cannot personally, and we will not practice what, we will not say we won't practice what we preach. We practice what we preach. So we have a lot of people working remotely. Some, they've not been in the office for like the whole year. And we have like 2-3 people resume at the office. But we are on a scale of numbers, we are just about 10 staff of Bonzee, and then we are creating magic.
Oh, that's beautiful. How long will it take me to set up, and how much do I need to set up an HR consulting firm, assuming that I've got the academic background like you do? But just for anybody out there who's got the same plans.
Okay, so what the most important thing is to have a structure. So that's where we come in. So we'll help you, firstly, understand what you're trying to do exactly. Because I tell people it's important to carve a niche. You don't have to do what everybody does in the same space. Carve a niche, be different. So if you tell me, okay, this is what you're trying to do, that's where we start from. Then we create a structure around that. And then, of course, for consulting sometimes, and most of the time, really, you need a space to perform. So it depends on how much cash you have to, play around with. But give or take, in 3 months to 6 months, we can actually set you up real good. And with the, invention of social media, it makes a lot of things easy.
Oh. Well, that's just absolutely beautiful. I mean, that there's this kind of a service available for people to actually take advantage of, especially if you're trying to put together your structure in your organization, maybe even begin.
Yes.
Well, they can all.
From ideation stage to strategy, and then to, set up.
Okay. Well, what about individuals? Do you work with just one person? Good
question. So I mentioned earlier that there are a lot of people going through, mental breakdown, burnout at work. It's really bad. It's really bad. So for people like that, we give them opportunity for counseling, therapy, and we even go as far as doing touch-based therapy to help them. Some people, you'll be shocked that they're just going through issues with their spouses at home. And if you don't talk to them and engage with them, you can't understand. Some people have family problems, health issues. I was talking to someone yesterday, former colleague, and, randomly I checked on him. How are you doing? It's been a minute. And then he said he's been sick, very sick, blood issues. And I didn't know this. And nobody in his office really knows or cares. So I just, took time. And I told him, we'll come to the office, let's talk and see how we can help you. So we are also open to individuals, who are going through one issue or the other. Some even want to make life decisions. And, they need someone like a tutor, to just guide them.
All for a fee, of course.
Yes, for a fee. We made it very, very, very easy so that people can actually afford it.
Affordable, huh?
Yes, 1 hour session is just about 3,000 naira, just so that people can afford it easily. So we connect to people as individuals, not just about the business or the money.
And I bet that often it's just all about getting it out there
Yes.
with a professional, of course,
Yes,
that
yes.
actually matters.
Exactly.
That's very interesting. The services are quite a lot, and I think that there's a lot to appreciate in there.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much, Oluwakemi. It's been a very interesting segment here with you for our SME, and we're hoping that we can maybe even take advantage of what you do there.
You're
Maybe you
welcome.
need to come and check up on me sometime.
You're welcome.
Because, I mean, sometimes this job...
I
But
can
in any
understand.
case, it's grand having you here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tell you what we're going to do. We've got something brewing or cooking inside of the kitchen since.
Oh, wow.
We're going to make you taste it. So I'm going to take you over right now, if you don't mind, the ladies inside of the kitchen.
Oh, wow. How did
Yes.
you know I like food?
Oh, you will see.